Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. Just an update on Alina's help letter to do with autism, to do with the graduated approach, the full-term plan, the A&P, whatever you want to call it, and also more recently the ehcp nightmare, as I called it in one of these videos, because it was, I thought it was going to be the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just as bad as the graduated process. So as you know, I've been back and forth with my local MP. That last letter I said was very promising, thinking that, maybe this person can influence the LA or, get the things we need doing done, i.e. one-to-one support, which, like I said, in the very first graduated process meeting, A&P meeting, on the 6th week in, everyone in the room said she needs one-to-one support. I mean, we already knew that from nursery, we already knew that from taking care of her, that she needs one-to-one support, not just for safeguarding purposes, but also for educating purposes. So we knew that, everyone knew that, so we've gone through this whole year of reception knowing that, everyone's agreeing on that. Everyone still says it, the teachers say it to us all the time when we go and pick up Alina, that if only she had one-to-one support, and when she does have a bit of it, they say she did well. And when we take her to speech and language, which is a sort of one-to-one support, we see how she progressed. So there's no doubt about it, one-to-one support would really fundamentally help Alina progress. As that speech and language, 4 sessions, it made her progress so much. So surely that's, indisputable. And even, like I said, the educational psychologist did sort of brush upon it, but when they came out to write the report between the educational psychologist and the APO, from ISA and the ESCC, East Sussex County Council, they wrote, she doesn't really need it. She's a class teacher and the TA can do it, even though they told us they couldn't do it anyway. I've told you this all before. So yeah, went to the MP. The MP gave a letter back recently. I read it out to you, been quite promising, thinking that maybe this could be something, but as usual, it looks like nothing's going to come of it. I'll read you the letter. Here it is, the reply back. And remember, I did send them all the times I tried to tell the APO that, in the amendments that I tried to make to the draft plan of the ehcp plan, that she needs one-to-one support, and I quoted where the educational psychologist agreed in that. So they know all that, and she said, "Thank you very much for your email. Please forgive the delayed response. Confirm receipt of your correspondence. Please find attached a ministerial response I received from the Department of Education. I hope you find the response helpful and informative. Please be assured that I will continue to raise the issue with my ministerial colleagues and through my position as a member of the Educational Select Committee." She doesn't make any mention of when I asked her about PMQs. I did ask her in the second time when she sort of tried to brush it off, but I would still like that bit to be asked. There is work being done, and I will continue to speak to my ministerial colleagues to urge further action to be taken. As the department is unable to comment on individual cases, and as this issue falls under the remit of the ESCC, East Sussex County Council, I would be more than happy to raise an inquiry on your behalf with Alison Jeffrey, the Director of Children's Services. Remember, she's already come back to us from the ESCC. An MP, my role is limited to making representation on your behalf. I don't have any direct control or influence over the ESCC or ESCC funding. I can only ensure that the local authorities are fully aware of your concerns and can investigate accordingly. I will share your response as soon as I receive it. With kind regards, Caroline. That's Caroline Enso, a Member of Parliament for Eastbourne and Willingdon. And the letter that she sent from the Department of Education, much similar to the one that they'd already sent me. This is from Claire Guttenhull, MP. I think this is the same person that replied last time. Thank you for your emails of the 26th and 11th of July, enclosing correspondence from your constituent, Mr. Harris Maguire, blah blah blah. I apologise for delaying replying. I'm sorry to learn of the difficulties Alina's parents have experienced with her education. Unfortunately, the department cannot intervene in individual cases or comment on actions of individuals. What's the point of all of this then? Our ambition for all children and young people, no matter what their special education needs and disabilities may be, is that they receive the right support at the right time to succeed in their education and prepare them for adult life. I'm telling you that's not happening. You're telling me that's your mission. So, what is it that you don't actually believe in your mission, or you're not actually going to make it come true? We published the Special Education's Needs and Disabilities and an Alternative Vision Improvement. This is the one I mentioned before, where it seems like they have acknowledged that all these things don't really work and they want to change it. But that's going to take a few years to set in place. And then goes on to sort of telling everything that they're doing, as they always do. I'm not going to read it out. Saying here about local authorities in England must carry out an EHC needs assessment if they are of the opinion that a child or young person has or may have special education needs and they may need special. Yeah, we've already done that. As Mr. and Mrs. Maguire are aware, if the LA does not issue an EHC plan, we have. So, like, I don't know. It's just like, what's the point of all this when you tell them there's a problem and still they don't want to really sort it out? This problem that I'm detailing of Alina is to do with the graduated process being verging on discrimination, because neurotypicals get their funding on day one and neurodiverse and disabled children get theirs on, after they've gone through the graduated process, even though they've already been, a lot of them have clinical diagnosis already from professionals. So it doesn't matter that this is, it's not just me. This is happening for Alina, I should say. This is loads of children that this is going to be happening for. Common sense, you can see, how can you disadvantage a child that's already disadvantaged by putting them through an extra long process that doesn't really need to be this long, and at the end of it thinking that, now at least you're going to get, with the EHC plan, you're going to get what you need. You still don't get what you need, despite you screaming at the top of your lungs, this is what she needs, and despite all the teachers saying this is what she needs, the people who actually are dealing with Alina. And then when you raise these concerns with the people in power of like, this isn't working, well, unfortunately we can't talk about individual cases. Well, then how are you ever going to solve this then? And telling us all the things you're doing and all the things you believe in, but all the things you believe in and doing don't match up with when I'm telling you things aren't working. Anyway, that's the world we live in, as I'm slowly finding out. And it's not just this, it's everything, isn't it? You try and stand up against anything and see all the pushback you get and how far you don't get. Humanity wasting all its energy and its time, procrastinating on doing things so slowly, thinking that, this is the system, this is how it is, it's perfect. Deal with it, live with it. It's that or nothing. Take care, ladies. God bless and peace.